Welcome to Blood in the Snow Radio, where we give you the latest news and interviews with the best in Canadian genre cinema. Here are your hosts, Robert Bellamy and Festival Director Kelly Michael Stewart.
Welcome back to the Bits Development Lab for 2023. I have the privilege of sitting here with these two lovely ladies. If you could introduce yourselves again, please.
Of course. I'm Lou Asfaha. I'm a writer-director based in Toronto, working primarily in horror and comedy.
And hi, everyone. My name is Foana Sadu, and I'm a producer and production manager based in Toronto.
Excellent. And now you described this beautifully. I hope we can do this again.
I can. I have it memorized.
Your project, please. I guess,
it is
you
called,
do, don't you? Yes.
It's called They Echo. It's a haunted house horror film about the link between memory, trauma, grief, and ghosts, told through the fractured relationship between an African immigrant mother and her first-generation daughter.
Very cool. And what brought that idea up? To me, the Colonel always baffles me with some of these stories.
For a really long time, I wanted to write about my relationship with my mom, and I tried it a bunch of different ways. I, tried to do drama. It was boring. I tried to do comedy. I couldn't find the right tone. I actually tried to do it as a superhero movie at one point, but it wasn't until I figured out that the real kernel of the story that I wanted to tell was the feeling of grief and grieving a relationship and grieving a relationship that you kind of wish that you had had.
Okay.
And so that led me to horror. Yeah, and it was kind of easy to from that point forward, because I'm a huge horror fan, a huge true crime fan, which definitely plays into the story as well. So once I kind of had that light bulb moment, it was pretty smooth sailing from there.
Oh, nice. And how did you get kind of looped into this?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lou sent me the script, and she was like, I don't know, people are telling me it could go one way, it could go another. Can you just read it and let me know? And
I didn't know if people liked it. That was
yeah, you're really insular as a writer. And so when I read it, usually my thing is, do I sit down with one reading, or do I have to take phone breaks and go to the washroom? But I sat down the entire time and read through the entire script. And for me, what hooked me was, of course, mom trauma. I have mom trauma as well. Shout out to therapy. And also because she writes interesting, captivating characters that I can relate to. And whenever I read Lou's scripts, I feel like I am the target audience, even though I'm not super horror person, but can still relate and feel things based on what she's writing.
That's cool. And it's important to be able to get the right feedback you want when you're getting a script. Because I know when I write, I have a couple people I'll give it to because they love everything I do, even if it's trash. And you get that awesome. But then I have those people that will go, why did you write this?
Oh. Yeah.
So it's good to find that good person that you can count on.
And I trust Fona's opinion, and I know she's not going to lie to me and tell me that something is good when it's not good. So that was the reason why I had gotten a bunch of other people's feedback already at that point. And I kind of gave it to her as be honest with me. Tell me if there's actually something here. And if there isn't, I'll move on to another project. But she liked it. So here we are. Yeah.
But it's hard sometimes when you have that personal passion project, to let it go. Even though, like you said, you're writing it and you're going, no, it's not working. Even though what you're getting down is important to you. So it's very hard sometimes to let that go. So it's good to know that you have that person that can tell you, back off.
Absolutely, 100%. But I think that also, like I said, I had tried this to tell this same kind of story a bunch of different ways. And I think if this hadn't worked, I would have just kept trying other ways to do it.
Yep. So now you've gotten your script. What made you decide to get involved with this lab?
You should share the trajectory of your script and how it went.
Sure. So I wrote the script. Foana came on board early 2022. And I think it was a week later or 2 weeks later or something that the applications for the CFC opened up. So we both decided to submit to the CFC with this project. We both got in. I got into the director's lab. She got into the producer's lab. We developed. It had a completely different title at that time, so it's a new title. It was called "The Fly That Doesn't Listen Follows the Corpse into the Grave."
Oh,
Yeah, it was a little long.
But there was meaning behind it as
Yes, yeah. It tied in a lot to the themes. I think like into the themes of the script. I think it like got that type of intrigue when you said it to people. But I think a lot of people didn't realize it was a horror film, so they thought it was a drama. So
it's got corpse in the title.
It does. Right. It does. I agree. But yeah, we changed it to The Echo because I think people sort of immediately were like, oh, that sounds like a horror movie. So we took it to CFC. We developed it there, which was a fantastic experience. But there's not a huge focus on horror or genre in general over there. And so we still were kind of having trouble getting support for the project, even though we think it's awesome. We still were having trouble getting support for the project. So we decided to go to just go out to Frontiers. We weren't pitching or anything. We just went to like meet people, potentially find, partners for the film. And while I was there, I met a filmmaker who had done this lab previously. And he he recommended it very highly to me. And it sounded great when he was talking about it. So I was like, I want to do that. So here we are. I applied and here we are.
Excellent. And we chatted a little bit. This is your first time at Bits taking part in the festival?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yes. Now you had mentioned you'd popped in and seen a couple.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of networking events. I've I think been to a couple screenings a few years back, like pre-pandemic.
Before the blip.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this is our first time participating in the festival. Yeah.
Excellent. So now have you guys done projects in the past? Or is this...
Yeah.
Yes?
Actually, part of the reason that we were in Montreal for Frontiers is because my short film got into Fantasia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a body horror about a woman who is so consumed with envy that she turns into a hyena.
Oh, that sounds brilliant.
Yeah, they liked it.
I love stuff like that. What brought that story on?
Is actually inspired. So I'm East African, and it's inspired by East African folklore. There's this concept of the evil eye, which I think is pretty common in a few cultures across the world, in like Asia, Europe, and Africa as well.
My mother.
But yes. But in Africa, in my region of Africa in particular, there are a lot of like myths about people using the black magic of the evil eye in order to turn into a hyena and kind of like stalk their the target of their jealousy and their envy. And there's like stories like that from Ethiopia, Somalia, Eritrea, where I'm from. Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I really just wanted to write a story about, like, that was kind of in the back of my mind, that folklore, but I really actually just wanted to write about how the feeling of jealousy and the feeling of envy can like destroy you. Like, it can really like take all of the good things in your life and you can like sabotage them just via this negative emotion that you're feeling. And I guess I sort of wrote it as like a parable, a warning to like not let that happen.
Nice. Yeah.
You should also share about fresh meat.
Oh, yes. Yes. This is why I have Foana. So we also, prior to that film, we made a short called Fresh Meat, which was about it's about a media company that eats their employees.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we made that, which premiered at Inside Out. We played Outfest in LA. Also in LA, we played Pan African Film Festival and Bronze Lens. And some other we played Axe Wound in Vermont as well. Yeah.
That is cool. So you guys work a lot together? Because you see that so often. People get into small groups, and that's where they work. You guys function as a team almost?
Yeah. Depending on the project, of course, absolutely. Because she also has, for example, like a TV series in pre-dev that she's working on, and you need a more senior producer on that. And so it depends on the project. But yeah, absolutely.
Or if the script comes across, it's like, no. Yes. Keep working. Yes.
Foana has not said no to one of my scripts
Not
yet.
yet.
So I take that as a good sign.
That is a very good sign.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, because she's your go-to to
Yes.
get honesty.
Yes.
So that's a
100%.
great sign.
Yeah. And then Foana also produced a web series that came out on CBC Gem last year, and she brought me onto that project to direct a few episodes.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
Even though I didn't write that, it was not my project, we still work together on that as well.
Absolutely.
That is a perfect team there. I like that. Excellent. So any plans for the future? Like once you get beyond the Echo?
Yeah, absolutely. So between now and when we hopefully shoot the Echo, I have a talent to watch feature called Yo We're Dying. It's a comedy feature, and it's going to go to camera next year.
Oh, excellent.
And then so that will be like the initial feature start in my world. But Lou, do you have other things that you have coming up?
I can tell you what is coming up now.
Okay.
I don't know what the future will bring because I just don't. Every time somebody asks me for like a 5-year plan, I'm like, I'm still thinking about next.
I got 5 minutes.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't answer that question. But coming up, I am developing a TV series that is still very, very early in development, so I don't really want to say too much about that, but I'm excited about it. I am making another short film that will actually be part of an anthology series, and it is about a true crime content creator who becomes a serial killer.
Oh.
Fun.
I know. So I'm making that. Hopefully we'll be shooting that next month. And yeah, just trying to like make. Oh, I also am now just recently started working on Thrillers of the Week, so that's fun. Definitely fun gigs coming up in that regard. Nothing I can really talk about at the moment, but because nothing's solid until I sign a contract. It's not real to me.
Exactly.
So yeah, mainly just trying to make stuff. I'm a filmmaker. I make films. That's all I want to do. So if you want to make films, let's make films. That's kind of how I see it. And I do have like a slate of things that I'm like ready to make. Fresh Meat has a feature film script as well that we're not pursuing right now because the budget's a bit high for that.
The dreaded
but
My favorite.
if anybody wants to help us make a $10 million feature, let us know. Yeah, so just like working on just trying to make horror stuff. I come from like the documentary world. Up until this year, I was only working in documentaries, so I'm just like very excited to.
It's a big switch.
It is. I've been trying to make the jump since 2019, and it really just happened this year, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just very excited to whatever is going to come my way. I'm excited.
That is awesome. Well, thank you both so much for chatting with me, and good luck in the lab.
Thank
Thank
And
you.
Can't wait to see the Echo.
Yeah, thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Join us next time for Blood in the Snow Radio. Bits Radio is a production of Three Evil Cats Productions in association with the Blood and Snow Canadian Film Festival. For more information and to listen to other episodes, visit bloodinthesnow.ca and tweet us at BitsFilmFest. Music by Jen Gorman, produced and edited by Kelly Michael Stewart.